Hey team, welcome back to Train Like a Ballerina. Today I'm going to share with you some incredible Train Like a Ballerina flows. There are hundreds of these on the Train Like a Ballerina app, so go check it out if you haven't already. I'm going to just guide you through some of these flows. They're designed on professional dancers, but they're also for absolutely everyone. I love to do them first thing in the morning because they make me feel so good and set me up for the day. But they do have to be done correctly, so please listen to the little tutorials before doing them for about 60 seconds each. If you still didn't feel great after this, sign up to the app. There's a 7-day free trial and there's heaps of follow along workouts on there. Let's get into it. So the first one is a hip opener. Lying on our back, and all we're going to do is fold our knees to our left side. And literally all we're going to do is open and close our legs. But the key to a hip opener is opening your legs as much as you can to the point where your range of motion takes you, that you have to fold the other knee over. And open, 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 and folding over. Now the key to this is not to think of pressing your knee down into the ground, but I like to think of pressing my upper thigh from my inner thigh down into the ground and folding over. Now with all the movements in today's sequences, I want you to think of continuously flowing. That's why it's called a flow. So not at any point are we just stuck static in a position. We're going to our end range of motion and then coming back. So it's almost like you're reaching, 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 touching, and then coming back. Second movement, dynamic back twist. We want to try keep our shoulders placed down onto the ground. I don't like to think of pulling my shoulders back, but I do like to think I've got a long neck and a light in my collarbone that's really shining bright like a ballerina. So legs straight in front of us, and all we're going to do is go from side to side with opposing legs. So right side with our left leg. Again, reaching, 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 pushing that left shoulder down into the ground while the top of our left leg is pushing down into the ground and our left toe is reaching out to the side and coming back. And other side, right shoulder pushing down into the ground, right arm pulling, left toe pulling, literally like you're pulling opposing directions. You might get a little crack in your back, that's okay. We're going to combine both of the movements now. So we're going to go twist to the right, and as we come into center, we're going to open up our hips. And to the left. And opening up our hips. Let's do 60 seconds. Good, guys. Last one. Exercise number 2 is a bridge with a rollover. Now there's 2 different versions of glute bridges. Today we're doing the one that is designed for flexibility and not predominantly for strength. It's used a lot in yoga. Our feet and knees are about shoulder width apart, and we're coming all the way down. Now, throughout the bridge, we want to make sure that our knees aren't going out and they're not rolling in. I like to think of that from my feet up and not just from my knees. And we're going to push up to a strength glute bridge and then push further up into this flexibility glute bridge here. You can interlace your hands, pushing your shoulders down into the ground and pushing all of the energy from your upper body up to the ceiling. Coming down with control, so I like to come through vertebrae by vertebrae, and then we're going to roll over for our knees to try and touch the ground. If they don't touch the ground, don't worry. We're going to sit here for 3, 2, 1, and then vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling back, everything with control, moving throughout, and then going back into the bridge. You guys ready? Big breath in. And pushing up. Movement number 3 is a Sphinx with a hip opener. So we're going to start by our knees out to the side and just sitting back onto our heels in a comfortable position, stretching the hands out in front of us. We're going to come to a Sphinx, keeping our hips off the ground, really making sure our shoulders are pushed down, coming to where your range of motion takes you. If you can, try lifting those knees off the ground as well. Really make sure we're not crunching into that spine, but we're elongating it. And then from this position, knees go back down onto the ground, arching the spine and sitting back into this hip opener here. Okay guys, you ready? Let's go. Next exercise is a plank into a deep lunge. Starting in a really strong plank position, making sure our core is engaged, glutes are engaged, pushing out of the shoulders. And we're going to bring the left leg into a deep lunge position and pushing those hips forward as much as you can. Take a big breath in, strong plank position. And right leg forward into a deep, deep lunge. I like to have my lunge, the leg of my lunging leg, a little bit out to the side so I can really push my hips forward. And let's go. Last exercise is a hamstring hinge. Our legs are slightly turned out, shoulder width apart, and we're bending all the way down. Hold onto a chair or a wall if you need. Dancers, no arching in your spine like this. Your core, you can tell, is going to be completely out. So engage that core, get rid of that huge arch, and just pushing down into the ground. Once you get to your end range of motion, lifting that pelvis up to the sky for a double hamstring stretch. And this double hamstring stretch, if that's too much for you, just come up to here again, holding onto something if you need, but making sure our pinkies are pressed down into the ground so the arches of our feet are pulling up and pushing back down. Big breath in on the way down, big breath out on the way up. Let's go. Thanks guys for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed me guiding you through some of those TLB flows. If you'd like to see hundreds of workouts, hundreds of flows with the top ballerinas in the world, go sign up to the Train Like a Ballerina app. There's a 7-day free trial, so even if you don't like it, you can give it a go. And yeah, see you guys at the next Train Like a Ballerina workout.